Edem Agbana, Honorable Edem Agbana, one of the youngest member of parliament in this government. Edem Agbana, a member of parliament representing the National Democratic Congress. So he's on the majority. And I want to be Hawa Koomson, former minister for fisheries, following the Ablekuma North election violence occurred. So just last weekend, and that's the last week, I didn't same Abana. According to Edem Agbana, there, I feel said, Hawa Koomson, dear TBR or say, your friend and police invited no to come and explain the reason and the motive behind the pepper spray, no, they call, because mremuno pepper spray is a weapon. So going into a public space like an election space, and I say, baby, yeah, polling, yeah, elections, no, where polls are being conducted, and you go there with a pepper spray, that means clearly there's something that you envisage, and I said there's something that you expect to see. You are anticipating some form of disruption or aggression or violence. Just say it's either that thing you are expecting, you are causing it, or you are the one being a victim of it. Either way, no, there is something that is not going to be very normal there. So with the pepper spray, you are trying to say, where I'm going, the likelihood of some surge be what they are saying, there's something will emerge. The likelihood of something erupting, violence, chaos happening is high. Therefore, let me keep this pepper spray in my back. As a matter of importance, let me have it in my back. Send a bayer in any case or in any incident of some chaos or unrest, I will use it to my defense or to protect myself. So clearly, Hawa Koomson going there with the pepper spray shows that she is ready to combat. She's ready to fight. She's ready to do something to just protect herself, either to fight against or to defend herself against. With all this, Amafo will say, although she was attacked, although then some people tried to clamp her down, which they did, they were successful at that. Because I did in the videos on YouTube, say now Odafema. Bubu na anachese ni nisubri no anachese ya chele nyansa kakribi. However, elu nchese ono ankasa no na she didn't have the role to play in this. Clearly, waye bibi ewo ho anachese ehie nkofole bufo. Ntene si ya bro na okopi hospital. She deserves it, but that's not the way to go about things though. And that's not that's not to approve and accept. That's not to endorse what happened. That one, there's a total shambolic act. I was say Ghana, we have to condemn it. However, that doesn't negate the fact that she needs to be invited to answer for also any contribution and involvement there, because you went there with a pepper spray. And no, and Edem Agbana actually Ghana for Adrian causes. So no, listen. There are things that need to be answered, and she needs to answer, and that is what he said.
The likes of Hawa Koomson, over the last 8 years under the Akufo-Addo impunity government, became arrowheads for violence. They took pride. Look, even at registration center, she was firing gunshots. She shot at one of the bodyguards of Nakoyo. And these issues have remained unresolved. Why you think those people, Tuareg and Co, they don't have families? They don't have their blood is more precious. Some of them were family heads. They were the breadwinners for their family. So when you, Hawa Koomson, who pride yourself with violence, calling yourself Kasua Van Damme and what have you, all of a sudden you are the heavyweight champion of violence, perpetrator, decided to enter polling station again with pepper spray. It means that she came there again with the same faulty thinking and ridiculous mindset that her government was in power to protect her to come and perpetrate violence, the police must invite her and ask her why she entered the polling station with a weapon, because pepper spray is a weapon. We all saw the video, and she was spraying the pepper spray on the people. So these characters, Hawa Koomson and co, Nanamu or Lloyd Amu or whatever, these characters must all be subjected to investigations, including the young men who ended up attacking them. We must ensure that we go into Akwetia with proper security protocols. And I can assure that the government of the day, and my brother on Zoom made a point. I speak for the NDC. I'm not a government official. I speak for the NDC as a political party, as a former deputy national youth organizer of this party, as a member of parliament representing the NDC for the good people of Ketu North. I can assure you that my government, the government of President Mahama, will not condone the level of impunity that we saw under Akufo-Addo. But if we are calling for justice, don't only look at the reactions. Why did Hawa Koomson enter the polling station with a weapon, which is pepper spray? Didn't the security check her? Did she have accreditation? Even me with accreditation, with no weapon, not even with a pin, I was attacked by thugs cladded in national security uniforms. Roland, maybe after this, I will personally petition the president and the Council of State and all the necessary stakeholders that we should go back and seek justice for the victims of Ayawaso West Wugon, for the victims of Techiman South, victims of the 2020 elections, victims of Asin North election violence, and the many others. I am one of the victims. Those who are crying foul today, crying for justice, pretending as though, look, watch the videos. What was Hawa Koomson doing there with pepper spray?
But at the
what was she doing? That is a weapon. It means she went there with the same thinking, ill thinking that she was going to perpetrate violence, because that is what she's known for. Look at what she subjected Nakoyo to. She shot at people, and she openly admitted that she as MP, as a minister, was firing at people, shooting people in Kasua. Such notorious character. Today you went to a police station with pepper spray, and there was a clash, and you are there crying for justice. And violence is wrong. Violence in any form must be condemned. And so it is wrong. And two wrongs do not make a right. But my point is that there is an essential difference, very fundamental difference between Ablekuma North election rerun and what happened at Ayawaso West Wugon. And I will tell you, what we saw.
And then violence is violence.
Violence is violence. But you see, we have to have this discussion dispassionately.
So are you saying
and look at the essentials?
There should be mosaic law, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
I am not. See, I started by condemning the violence, and I'm not justifying it. But it's important, if we are looking for a solution, it is important for us to look at the nuances of the cases that are before us. Now, people have said there was Chereponi, there was Talensi, there was Etiwa, where President Akufo-Addo himself said, Etiwakra, Echiomu, Bibi Kakra. So that should even give you an indication the people who led that particular violence. Because he himself came out to confess. Now, Roland, Echiwa, Chereponi, Talensi, and what have you, from my readings and my experience with those elections, these were clashes between political parties, or tags, or let me say internal secrets of both parties. But Ayawaso West is what we describe as a state-sponsored vigilantism, and that must not be lost on us. And so I have a problem with those who want to equate Ayawaso West Wugon by-election violence to what happened at Ablekuma North.
What's the difference?
The difference is that one was sponsored by the state, one was on the command of the state, and the men who perpetrated that violence and near killing, near murder of innocent Ghanaians were cladded in national security uniforms. That is the essential.
Supposed to be peaceful.
Elections are supposed to be peaceful.
The state has the responsibility
so when you have the
state,
exactly, I agree with you. So when you have the situation where the state that must protect the Ghanaian, the ordinary citizen, is the one that led the violence, let us not discuss it and try to equate it with what happened at Ablekuma North. Again, I'm repeating that I condemn what happened at Ablekuma North. I believe that everybody who was involved must be brought to book. But let us discuss this looking at the differences in them. Ayawaso West Wugon was a state-sponsored vigilantism. And when you listen to what happened at the commission of inquiry that they themselves set up, clearly it came out that those men who were armed, who perpetrated the violence, who brutalized people, including myself, were all cladded in national security apparels. It means that they were acting on the orders of some superiors who had the mandate of the states. So let's not try to equate the two.
Uganda for the Ablekuma North rerun election conversation, no, it's still ongoing, and we are not done. We have not finished with the conversation. We are still following, and whatever happens, we'll bring you up to speed with it. Subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you again in the next one.